Hello and welcome to this tutorial of the Eve mobile app. In this short tutorial, we'll be covering the basics of how to initiate a phone call, make and receive calls, transfer them to other users. I'll be starting from opening the app for the very first time and logging in with your user details, straight through to actually initiating a phone call and some other little features that are built into the app as well. So let's jump in. So once you've downloaded the app from the App Store, as soon as you open it, this is the screen you'll be presented with. So I'm going to allow notifications here just because I want it to tell me if anything happens. And then what we're going to do is we're going to log in, and this is the only time you have to do this, using the mobile number you've given to us to attach to your user license. So once you've typed this in, it will send you a code in real time just to confirm your identity and the fact that you are actually the user you've given us the details for. So iMessage are going to pick this up for me straight away so I can activate the code without having to come out of the app. So once you're logged in, it's going to ask you for access to your contacts. So what this is going to do is going to enable Eve to actually recognize any contacts you've got in your phone book, as well as the ones that are actually on the phone system. So this is the screen you're presented with straight away as soon as you log in, and this is the screen you'll be presented with every time you open the app, which is the contacts page. We'll come back to this page in just a second, but there's just a couple of settings that I want to run you through that we need to action straight away as soon as we open the app. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide to the left where we're presented with the menu on the left hand side, and we're going to come down to settings. Now what I want to do straight away is jump into internet calls at the top and enable it on all networks. Now what this is going to do is it's just going to allow us to make and receive calls on Wi-Fi, 4G, 3G, and just basically make calls anywhere we are rather than nowhere, which is what was enabled at the start with disabled. So as soon as we click enable on all networks, it's going to ask us for the access to our microphone because this is the first time we're telling it that it's allowed to make phone calls on our device. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come down to synchronization under contacts, and we're going to click favorites only. So what this is going to do is just synchronize any of your contacts with the favorites list within Eve. And then the last thing I want you to do is just collect diagnostics. So just enable that feature. It just means that if we ever get any issues or if we ever get any loss of service, we can trace any phone calls and just see exactly what happened to them on the back end. Now we're just going to slide to the left and come back to the contacts list, where I can just run you through exactly how this works. So this is where it's going to keep all of your contacts throughout your iPhone, as well as the people that are on your internal system. So I'm going to type in Sean, and as you can see, I've got a couple of Seans within the phone. So I've got Sean Johnson, who's part of our internal team. So we can see he's an Eve contact at the top, and then we've got two Seans that are also on my actual iPhone who are listed just down below, and you can see they're just listed as separate contacts just below Sean Johnson. So if we just click on Sean Johnson under the Eve contacts list, as we come in, we can see his profile card where we're presented with kind of an array of options and all of his details listed. Now, as you may remember from the contacts list, we've had to search for Sean to find him. Even though he's part of the Eve system, he's part of our company, we've had to search for him to find him. Because what the contacts list does is it keeps everyone in the background unless you want them, unless you tell Eve you want to see them as what we call a favorite. So your contacts list is a list of your favorites. So if we come up into the top right hand corner of that little star, at the moment the star is blank because he's just simply a contact. If I enable him as a favorite, what that's going to do is it's going to add him to the contacts list as standard. So as soon as you open the app, he's going to be listed here. So I've come back to the contacts list. As you can see, it's showing no one but Sean now. So what it will do is every time you add someone to that favorites list, it's going to show them there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to search for another employee, Helen. We're going to add her as a favorite just so we can see in the contacts list it's showing numerous people. So let's jump into her profile card, go to the top right, show her as a favorite instead of a standard contact, and let's jump back to the contacts list, and then we'll see Sean and Helen saved as favorites in our contacts list. And it just enables us to see the people we speak to on a regular basis in one place without having to search for them. Now, once you're showing the contact you want to speak to, instead of having to go into their profile card, what we can actually do is we can hold down on their name and be presented with a quick list of what we can do for them. So we can call them. If you've got the collaboration suite, you can instant chat with them, start a stream, share information with them, share that contact card with someone else. And that just gives you the ability to, instead of having to jump into their contact card, is actually get that information right there. Now, just being on the main contact screen, I just want to show you one of the quick shortcuts that are here that will probably be come in handy on the regular basis. So in the top right, you've got the dial pad feature. So this is in the left-hand menu, but it's also normally in the top right on most pages within Eve as well. So when you jump into the dial pad, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're presented with the option to dial a number. Now, when you dial out using the Eve app, it's going to show your landline number when you dial someone. So what I'm just going to run through now is how to initiate a phone call, put that call on hold, and then transfer it to someone else. So what I'm going to call is just a dummy phone we've got laying around. This phone call is going to be a little bit weird towards the end, just purely because I'm transferring it to a line we're currently using. So the phone call is not going to go anywhere, but it's going to show you exactly how to do it. So once we've initiated the call, obviously got to wait for that phone to answer. So at the moment, it's just going to be ringing. It's going to show us calling the number. And as soon as it answers, we're presented with this menu. So you've got the mute button, the keypad if you're calling an IVR where it's asking you to press an option. You've got the speakerphone, new call, which is what we're going to grab in a second. And we've also got the hold button. So just showing you the keypad very quickly. It's pretty self-explanatory. Again, it's just a smaller version of the dial pad within the call. So if you do need to click an option, you can just click any of the numbers and it will act exactly as your desk phone normally would in this situation. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run through actually adding another person as a separate call and then moving this call through to them. So as soon as we click new call, it's going to take us straight back to our contacts list. This is where we can either search for a new number like I'm going to do, or you can just pick someone who's on your favorites list, or like we did earlier, search the actual contacts list either on your phone or on your internal system. So I'm just going to call our main office number. Like I said, it's not going to work as smoothly as it normally would for you guys, but it's going to demonstrate what we're going to do because obviously I'm on the phone currently. So as you can see, now we've got this second call active, we've got another menu of options. So there's a couple on the bottom. We've already established a few of them. The keypad's still there in case you're going through another IVR system. The couple of new ones. The green one at the top between the two calls is the transfer button. So as soon as you click that, it's going to transfer that phone call, the original phone call, through to the new one. But the option I also want to run you through is the swap option. So basically what this is going to do, it's going to allow you to swap between the phone calls. So if you phone someone and you think, actually, I need to speak to the first person again, it's going to put that second call on hold, put you back to the first one, and vice versa. You can keep doing that as many times as you need to. Now, once you've clicked the transfer button, mine's not going to quite do it as we'd normally like. It will put that first call straight through to the second person, and then that's it. The transfer is complete. So there's just a couple more things I want to run you through as part of sort of the basics that I wanted to cover today. So the first one being the call log. So again, you swipe to the left to get that menu, come down to call log, and you're presented with all the phone calls you've made in and out of the phone system. This isn't just the ones you've made on the mobile app. This is the ones that your user license has made. So whether you make them from your desk phone, the desktop app, if it's something you use, or the mobile app, they'll all be within this call log. Another option is the voicemail. So if you get any personal voicemails, they're going to be in here. You can play them directly from the mobile app, but they will also be available in the online portal, which you'll get access to. So the other one I want to run through is on the left-hand side. If we go to me, this is your profile card. So this is your information. I always tell customers it's worth uploading a picture of yourself just to give it a bit of personality. But if you ever need to get hold of any of your information, like your extension or your DDI, it's all within here. So that pretty much covers us today, guys. If you have any more questions at all or any technical difficulties in any way, give us a shout. The support team are on hold all day ready to speak to you. So just call our main number on 0330 311 0766, and it's option 3 for the technical support guys, and they'll be able to help you with anything you need. But other than that, hopefully this has helped. And like I said, all the best with the mobile app. Thanks for joining Bespoke Connected.